Back now to that judge's ruling on a big part of the president's immigration policy, that judge ordering the Trump administration to provide hundreds of migrants that were deported to that CCOT prison in El Salvador the ability to challenge their detention and removal. And joining us now is Skye Perryman. We got her back. She's the president and CEO of Democracy Forward, one of the groups that brought the original suit against the Trump administration when it came to the Alien Enemies Act. So you and the ACLU filed one of the first lawsuits challenging these deportations to that El Salvador prison. What's your reaction to this ruling?
Well, this is a very welcome step, and it's entirely what our Constitution requires. In this country, which is what we have said from the beginning of this case, people cannot be removed without any process at all. And so you see a federal court continuing to require that process under the Constitution. So this is a positive thing for our clients, and yet the government continues to try to stall the process provided. And so we're going to be working vigilantly in the courts to ensure that everyone gets the process that they are due.
The judge has given the Trump administration a week to come up with their plan for these men to challenge their detentions. What should that look like?
Well, it should look like process. I mean, this is an administration that removed people from the country without doing any diligence, providing any type of process. So people need access to their lawyers. They need to be able to challenge their detention under habeas corpus, which is what, of course, the court ruled yesterday. And it's important to note that this ruling came out on the same day that the president banned travel from a range of countries. And what has separated the United States from many nations, including countries like Iran, is our commitment to process. And so you see the court really seeking to enforce that here. And that's, of course, what we will do every day in the courts alongside our friends at the ACLU.
I want to read from Judge Boasberg's ruling. He says, quote, perhaps the president lawfully invoked the Alien Enemies Act. Perhaps, moreover, defendants are correct that plaintiffs are gang members. But there is simply no way to know for sure, as the CCOT plaintiffs never had any opportunity to challenge the government's say-so. What sort of impact do you think this ruling might have on other cases, such as Kilmar Abrego Garcia's, which isn't included in this?
Well, of course, this is an important ruling because it says what the law requires, which is process. But you've seen courts across this country. You've seen judges appointed by a range of presidents with a range of political, viewpoints. You've all seen them affirm the notion that people in this country need process. But this is a very significant decision. We hope that it will improve the lives of people who, again, were removed without any process at all.
Skye, one thing that we have heard over and over again from the government as it relates to these prisoners in CCOT is that it's impossible to bring detainees back from El Salvador because they're not in U.S. custody anymore. And yet, listen to this. A Guatemalan man just arrived back in the United States after a judge ruled in his case that he was wrongfully deported, first to Mexico and then back to his native Guatemala. Doesn't this prove the administration does have the power to bring back people that they've deported that are in other countries?
Well, yes, I mean, the administration has been speaking out of both sides of its mouth. Sometimes you hear them talk about all the power that they have. Other times they throw their hands up and say they have no power. We, of course, have a lot of concerns about even the legality, frankly, of how the administration is operating with respect to detaining people in El Salvador. Those are things that you will start, that you will see continued in the case. But it's important to just focus on the fact that the courts across the country are seeing this for what it is. They are doing everything they can to ensure that people have access to process. And that's really what our task is going to be over the coming days.
Skye Perryman, thank you very much for working out those tech snafus and joining us to share all of your expertise and your response to this order. We appreciate it.